Hello world, hello world. Yes, I don't know if you heard with E.J. Johnson, whose birth name is Ervin Johnson III, who was named after his father and grandfather. Statement. He was on some show, podcast, whereby he stated that during his interview that he looks cuter than any girl. Well, there's a lot of controversy with this statement being made. People are going in, and the fact that he further states that he dates straight men, um, and doesn't feel that any label should be applied on any male is quite again controversial. For example, the headlines are reading that he was once attracted to his sister's, believe it or not, boyfriend. And he further stated that he thinks, quote, they're just labels, referring, I guess, to his sexual preference. And people going in, they're commenting that, for example, that EJ is not even an attractive male. He's not cute in either gender. And they're further stating that these dudes in dresses are just out of pocket. Well, one of my issues that I would say with this comment that he's making is that, again, if he wants to date a down low brother, DL that is, brother, again, not being true to yourself in a sense. If you're gay or bisexual, please be open and be yourself. I do agree with this comment because, again, there's so many DL men who have infected straight females that this issue of AIDS and HIV in the black community is a hot topic. The fact that EJ, who would feel or voice opinions he wants is fine. However, to deceive people, as one commenter stated, is another. Being disingenuous is one of my issues, and again, due to the fact that the diseases that can be carried by being undercover and a straight woman not knowing is a problem, again, in the black community. So the fact that EJ doesn't agree to labels, I do believe that labels should exist so people who are straight would know what's up.
That fateful day, had you been sick? Had you been suspicious that maybe you were carrying the virus, or how did it come? Just a regular checkup?
Just a regular checkup. I didn't know. I wasn't sick. I was just sitting at a hotel in Utah and getting ready for an exhibition game against the Jazz. And Dr. Melman called and said, hey, you got to come back home. I said, okay, well, why don't I play the game? And we're coming back tomorrow. I said, no, you got to come now. I said, okay, what's going on? They wouldn't tell me. So I flew back to LA. So, I walk in the office and he started talking about the test. Insurance company, you got to take physicals. And then what came out of the physical was you have HIV.
You were on the floor yourself, I heard, for 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The doctor tells you, and you just laid on the floor.
Yeah, it was, you're just in disbelief and in shock.
Yeah.
And I think that, you're sitting there like, man, how could this happen to me?
And what does this mean?
And what does this mean?
Yeah.
Of course.
Right.
But I was just devastated because I thought I had did everything right. And then the worst thing was Cookie was pregnant with EJ. And
You had just been married 2
Yeah.
months earlier.
Yeah, just been married. And all that came crumbling down. And the worst thing about it is I knew I was going to hurt her because she had waited for me, been patient with me, supported me. And now I'm about to break her heart. So that ride home was probably the worst thing that you can do is to ride home and try to figure out how am I going to break this news to her. This devastating news. Then as soon as I got to the door,
This door. Yeah.
she knew something was wrong. And she was like, what's wrong? And I sat her into the room next to this room. And I just sat her down, began to tell her that I had HIV. And that just broke her heart. She began to cry, and not knowing what that meant for her and the baby at that time. And then, as she's crying, and I often tell people when you make a mistake, and you not only hurt yourself, but you hurt the ones that love you, and that hurt me. That hurt me. I just committed to it. I just said, oh, man, we're going to do this. And then, I said, hey, I can understand if you want to leave me because, I'm now turning your life upside down. And she smacked me upside my head and said, we're going to beat this together. Let's get on our knees and pray. And that's what we did. And I got the great news later. God blessed us when the test results came back on her and the baby that she didn't have HIV and the baby didn't either. And so I don't know what would have happened if I had got that news that she would have HIV as well. That would have been just devastating to me.